Hey, Chris Crawford here from Kick-Ass Media. So you're having a marketing event, maybe it's a product launch, a campaign of some sort, a trade show, or some other activation, and you're shopping for some branded displays, a branded backdrop for your event. The key things that you really want to look out for is, one, the backdrop itself. So you really want to think about the material and the hardware that's being used. Two is how it's going to help you achieve your goals. And three, choosing the right supplier. I'm going to take a second in this video and share with you how to answer those questions, how to find the best method to go about all that, top things to consider, so that you can have an awesome event, an awesome marketing campaign, or whatever it may be, achieve your goals, blow away your client or your boss, and engage your audience, and obviously promote more engagement. Because when this really goes off properly, I mean, that's how we grow our brands, grow our audiences, get more followers, likes, subscribers, and increase purchase intent. But I don't have to tell you all that because you already know. So the first thing to consider is the product itself. And there's a couple details here. So there's the actual printed portion, the face that you can see here, and there's the hardware frame in behind that actually holds it up. So when you're shopping for the printing, what we recommend, especially for any kind of marketing, anything in that realm, is to definitely use fabric. Vinyl is a cheaper material and it looks cheaper. It has it's a plastic finish. You're going to see some glare. It's not going to show up very well. If you fold it or do anything, you're going to have creases. It's long, and you've got to carry around this tube that's going to be really inconvenient. You definitely do not even want to think about getting vinyl. Don't let anybody talk you into it. Now, fabric, there's usually a few different ones, depending on if you're doing a short-term, long-term thing, repeat use, one-time use, whatever it may be. But the nice thing about the fabric is it folds up. Like this whole thing would fold up small into a little duffel bag size case that you can check into an airplane, no problem. You can travel with. You could carry on a subway or in an Uber if you had to, and super easy to transport. But then when it expands up to size, it's completely smooth. There's no creases. There's nothing like that. The other thing is this one's dry cleanable, and you can spot clean. You can do whatever. The other thing is the frame itself. So we definitely encourage to talk to your supplier about if your frame requires tools or not. So one of the oftentimes misunderstood things is that there's other frames that are tube frames, and different ones you need tools and parts to put them together. And trust me, you do not want to be on site setting this up, or somebody from your team or whatever it looks like having to pull out screwdrivers and pieces to screw together. We used to have hardware like that in the past, but we no longer carry it because it is just not ideal. It's not a great experience. So we only carry hardware that is tool-free, that sets up. You could give it to somebody that's never set it up before with no instructions, and they can easily just pull it out of the bag, expand it, and it just clicks into place. So you definitely want to consider that, and possibly you want something that has a bit of depth and a bit of rigidity to it, so you don't have to worry about it falling over or anything like that. Maybe you want to be able to mount lights to it. There's flat, there's curved options depending on how you're going to use it. There's different heights, 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, and a lot of different widths. So all the way down to a 30-inch box style, up to 5x8. This is a 10x8. They go all the way up to, we can go to 50 feet wide. So we're going to want to find the one for you. The most common is a 10x8 or a 10x10, especially for marketing. But it's all about finding the right fit for you. So the second thing is how to help it achieve your goals. And that's obviously, if you're not familiar, that's more about your marketing message and taking use of like the end caps on the side to promote additional sharing, and a message that really engages with your audience and makes them want to come in and interact with you. If you're not working with the design or marketing team yourself and you're looking for that support, you can also have a conversation. Know if the designer that you're dealing with and the team you're dealing with is thinking from a marketing standpoint to achieve your marketing goals, or just from an aesthetic standpoint to look good. Because there's a very different thing there. It could look good, but if it doesn't attract your audience in, well, then it's kind of a waste. It's not achieving your goals. And you want to make sure that the design is in line with your brand, with your audience, with what that looks like. So the third key point you really want to consider is choosing the right supplier. And oftentimes people don't realize that some suppliers are actually sourcing printing overseas, and when they come in, sometimes the colors are off, they may not arrive on time, and you can have some hassles that's not ideal. You definitely want to talk about, are they printing in North America? And find out what they'll do. What are their guarantees if it doesn't arrive on time, or if it doesn't look right? And unfortunately, some suppliers out there will say that they don't guarantee anything, that it may look different than your monitor, and they don't guarantee any of that, and they won't take care of you. We get calls all the time of horror stories, and our guarantees are unparalleled. So we guarantee that it'll arrive on time and done right, and if it's not, we'll redo it or take care of you or whatever that may look like, no questions asked, because we know this is super important. The second thing is you want to ask them, what about their warranties or long-term, what are they guaranteeing? Because if you're using this for marketing, whether it's once a year, repeatedly, you're traveling with it, you want to know that if anything happens, if anything gets broken, are you going to be taken care of? The long-term ROI of your investment. And oftentimes a lot of suppliers may only offer 30 days, 90 days, maybe 1 year max, but we do a lifetime warranty on this. So it could be a few years from now, and if you're traveling and the airline breaks it, or you're setting it up, or somebody from your team breaks it, or you break it, or the Velcro comes off, we'll take care of it, no questions asked, because that's how you build a relationship with somebody that ultimately we want you to succeed, and we want to work with you long term. And we know that by just trying to set barriers that make you frustrated, I mean, that's not going to be a win-win relationship, and that's really what we're looking for here. So you really want to have this conversation with your supplier of what are their methods, what do they guarantee, what do they warranty, how are they going to take care of you, and make sure that you feel confident they're going to take care of those things up front. So because there are so many options, we don't post pricing. There'd be too many variations. We have to figure out the size and the material and everything like that. So please have a call to our team here, and you can have a conversation with somebody. They can brainstorm out, make some recommendations, find the right fit for your marketing event or whatever it is that you're going to do, and help you look great and go out and smash it and crush your goals.